Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
All the greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan.
All right, Austin, of course, we'll be talking about Frank Lampard, the return of Frank Lampard to Stamford Bridge. He spent 19 months the last time and he was fired. Thomas Tuchel came in. He was fired. Graham Potter came in. He was fired. So, I mean, Chelsea having 3 managers in one season. We'll talk more. His mission this time around as a caretaker manager, we know he's going to be there till the end of the season. And he's been talking about the fact that he wouldn't be focusing on getting the job full time, but then try and get results for Chelsea. Also, we'll be talking about the Super Falcons. They are all in camp, and for the first time since 2021, yes, that's the last time we had Desire Akparanos. They played for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Aisha Barry's Cup, remember, that's the last time she was with them. She couldn't go to the Nations Cup. Of course, she's back with the Super Falcons. I saw the shoulder since the Nations Cup in Morocco. She's also back with the team. So it's a full camp, 23 players, all of them preparing for the game against Haiti and also against New Zealand on Tuesday next week. We'll also be talking about the Nigerian Women's Professional Football League. We've got the relegated team already. Also, we have a team who has qualified for the Super 6. And of course, we'll touch down on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They aren't giving us joy this time around because dropping 5 places, Austin, that's not something I want to talk about. We'll be dropping, but for the past 40 years, before we were born, I mean, Super Eagles they were bad. It's been bad, and it's been bad. Dropping 5 places, yes, it was expected. How do you lose to Guinea-Bissau and then expect to actually, rise? It's hard, right?
Yeah, very, very tough, but I think it's a rude, reawakening for the Super Eagles, just so they would take their campaign seriously. They would take every game that they need to play very seriously, because as it is now in Africa, match after match, we can see that they are no longer small teams. In fact, if they are small teams, when they meet Nigeria, they become, fairly good teams. And that's what we've been seeing. So it's pretty sad dropping 5 places.
Yeah.
But the FIFA ranking is no big deal to me. So sometimes when I see the FIFA ranking and it's good, I say, okay, really? We'll never get to understand how they do those calculations, Cecilia.
All right, the Argentines will say no, because right now they are world number 1 and they are happy with that. So don't tell them that you don't care about that ranking. It puts you in a state that you feel okay. You're actually on top of the world, because right at that time, you're the best football playing nation in the world. No one can argue with that. Brazil also dropping points. Okay.
Yeah, the painful thing about the Super Eagles drop is that they are now out of the top 5 in Africa.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and that's not good for our football. I don't care wherever we are in the world, but in Africa, we should be in the top 5. That's just the least you can do to keep your prestige, as a big football playing nation in Africa. As I said, rude reawakening for the team.
Yeah, it is. The next rank is going to be in July. No, there's no hopefully, because we're playing Sao Tome and Principe and Sierra Leone. That will definitely not help our ranking in anything. But then let's start off with this one coming from Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard. It was a surprise for everyone. Okay, Chelsea have done it before when they had Jose Mourinho, they had him back. But Frank Lampard, whose result wasn't really great the first time he was there, and then you're asking him to come back on interim base. It seems they were not even ready. If we can have, we saw the stats earlier when he was, the coach of Chelsea. But then the story is Frank Lampard, he's now the interim manager for Chelsea. He was there for 19 months before that time, before he was dismissed in January 2021. So his return, he's really not seeking that full-time job. He just wants to do the job and see how he can steady the ship at Stamford Bridge. Now, this is what it's like when he was appointed July 4th, 2019, and he was sacked January 25th, 2021. That was 19 months in charge. Days in charge is actually 571 days. The matches he was in charge of, 84, he won 44, drawing 15, and he lost 25. Players he used 35 players when he was in charge, and of course the percentage was 52. This was a good record compared to what they had with the Potter, Graham Potter. That wasn't a good one. But Austin, when you're taking a look at the statistics now from Frank Lampard, it seems it wasn't really so bad. But then at that time, you know who we had in charge, who is really happy to change managers. He wants the trophies. When he's not coming, he's thinking, I don't want to be trophyless this season. Before you know it, the coach is gone.
It was beyond Ibrahimovic at the time. I liked Frank Lampard. I thought he was developing. And lest we forget, that was the time Chelsea had the transfer ban, remember?
Yeah.
So he was trying to steady the ship. He was on a developmental path. But for a big club as Chelsea that's got a billionaire that is spending money, a 52% win percentage is poor. That's not what Chelsea wants, you know. And for 19 months, if you're recording over 44 losses, then there's a problem. But I like the fact that they couldn't look far away, but, you know, find a way to bring in Frank Lampard into the mix again. Because what Chelsea is going through now, they need someone who understands the club, who is passionate about the club, because it's difficult to explain how a team that has spent 550 million pounds on new players this season, to see that.
Okay, I think. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
I can hear you now. Yeah. Okay, continue.
So I was saying that for Chelsea that has spent 550 million pounds on new players this season, it's difficult to understand why they are where they are at the moment, 11th on the log, and particularly struggling against smaller teams. But this man has said that he's just going to try to do his best, and he's not getting anywhere ahead of himself. That's Frank Lampard. But he's a club legend, and he's passionate about, them taking Chelsea out of their current situation. You know what? Let's listen to Frank Lampard, and then we'll come back. We'll have a guest join us, a Chelsea fan. We'll talk some more about the return of Frank Lampard.
It's a pretty easy decision for me. This is my club in terms of my playing career and having coached here before. So I have a lot of emotions and feelings towards the club. I'm also a very practical person, and when you become a manager, you understand that you don't manage your own club, the club that you say is your club forever. And obviously I've been on a different path since I left Chelsea. But to come back in a time where the club have asked me to come and take the role, of course that's the most important thing, but also with a belief that I can come and help the cause in this period to the end of the season. So I'm delighted to get that opportunity, and I want to be, I'm thankful for that, to the people that decided to give me that opportunity. I'm confident in myself. I have a good understanding of the squad. Of course, I've worked with a lot of them before, but also the training ground, the stadium, the fans, what Chelsea fans want, and I'll do my utmost in this period coming to give them what they want with my own hard work, along with the staff that I will be working with and the players that I will be working with, because I was at the game on Tuesday night. I know there's a lot of talent in this squad, not just the players that played on Tuesday, but generally I'm excited to work with that talent and help them. Yeah, it's a big challenge, but aren't they all? And that's not just my own world of coming to Chelsea at the first time with a lot of young players and the transfer ban, Everton, everyone saw. That's my story. Every manager will have that story. Everything's a challenge. We're seeing how the Premier League is, so I have complete sympathy for all managers that maybe lose jobs and move on, and also congratulations to managers that have success, because I know the work. So I'm ready just to put my work into this challenge that's in front of me and take it day by day. I've got a clear idea of what I want to do in this period. But the biggest thing for me now is to be able to speak to the players and to feel them out on the grass and try and impact them.
Returning Chelsea manager Frank Lampard. He will be with the team for the rest of the season. Cecilia, I listened to that entire, press conference was about 20 minutes long, and I'm impressed with the things he said. He's optimistic, he's confident. You heard him say it wasn't a difficult situation for him to pick Chelsea. But a lot of questions right here in England. Chelsea fans, they are divided. Some are saying, is Lampard the best manager that can come in steady the ship? Others are saying, give us Lampard instead of Potter. So they're saying they rather keep this Lampard that they know than Potter that was probably taking them towards relegation. So it's very tough. These are very difficult times for Chelsea, but let's see what this man can do. Let's bring in a Chelsea fan. He's right here in the United Kingdom with me, but he's in Coventry. Ajibola Majet joins us live on the program. Ajibola, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Chelsea had to go back to the man that they, told to leave the club in 2021. Just January, Everton sacked Lampard. Is that the best man for the job?
Well, I don't think Lampard is the best man for the job, but Chelsea is a business.
That's not what I mean.
And they have to manage the risk of Chelsea going into relegation. So I believe for Chelsea, it's no good move, but for Frank Lampard, it's a very good move because it gives him an opportunity to refresh his reputation. And I think he might actually do well in the short term because he has a point to prove, which might actually work for Chelsea in the long run.
I like how cautious you are. You're actually being careful because, he's got a very difficult task ahead of him. There's Real Madrid coming up in the UEFA Champions League. He's got 10 matches where he needs to prove a point. Chelsea must find a way to finish in the top 5. And right now, they're 11th on the log for a team that has spent £550 million on new players. Is it the manager that is the problem?
No, the manager is not the problem. I think the problem is Chelsea haven't got a goal scorer. So if you look at the last 5-10 games, there's been no loss of confidence. The players have been playing well, but they're just not sticking the ball in the back of the net. So I think part of the thinking of the Chelsea management is to bring somebody in to implement some type of change. And that change, Lampard happens to be the head change agent in that process. So I'm looking at Chelsea moving up the table, but not into the Champions League positions.
Let's get some thoughts from Lagos. Cecilia is in Lagos. Cecilia.
Interesting, Ajibola, because Frank Lampard was actually a surprise for everyone, watching Chelsea. Even the Chelsea fans that right here at Channels Television, especially a producer, is really not happy that they had to bring back Frank Lampard. So most of them wanted someone else. But Frank Lampard, we know, he's a record goal scorer for the club, 211 games. They have big squad. How can he manage this big squad?
He can't play everybody. You can only play 11 players, but I think it's a good problem to have for any manager. And with the talents at his disposal, he has the flexibility to change his formation. I think Chelsea's starting formation should be 3-5-2 because they have a lot of strength in that formation, but they can easily change things. And this might just be the beginning of, a good period for Lampard as a coach. We all know what he did as a player, and personally, he was my best player, ever. And I'm rooting for him to do well, But the Premiership doesn't take prisoners, so it's going to be more than Frank Lampard to return Chelsea to the glory that we used to have.
Yeah, the thing is that when he was talking at this press conference, he said he understands the position they are in. Football is so unpredictable and everything. Do you think he can manage, to get Chelsea out? Because Austin mentioned that, yes, they have Real Madrid to play in the Champions League, which is next week. And, of course, his first game in charge will be on Saturday away at Wolverhampton. He's going to start from there, then try as much as maybe build Chelsea, maybe finish top 4, or even if he doesn't finish top 4, or if he doesn't win anything, should he be retained? Or Chelsea should just, after this season, continue looking for another coach?
I think to answer your first question, I think Chelsea can go to Madrid and get a draw with what we have, And then in terms of keeping Lampard beyond this season, personally, I would say no, because Lampard hasn't got the stature or the experience to manage a football behemoth like Chelsea. So I think we need to go into the market. The unfortunate thing is a lot of good managers are not available, but at least we've got Pochettino, and we can actually make bids for managers that are in clubs like Ancelotti. And some other people that might be unavailable right now. And like I said earlier, because this is a strategic move, Lampard might actually have been brought in to save the cost impact as well. Because as you know, Chelsea have spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's going to be fair play regulations coming into it at some point. So they might actually be biding their time, waiting for the right time to make the manager, to select the right manager. And I won't be surprised if discussions are already ongoing. You know, they know who their options are, and they're going to continue with the selection process. Then at the end of the season, they're going to get someone to replace Lampard. Hopefully, Lampard would have moved us up the table, giving us fans some more confidence, you know, and leave the place in a better place, in a better position than he met it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. Well, let's take a listen to him, you know, the other part of his press conference when he was talking about, he understands the difficulties currently going on at Chelsea and, of course, his target for the season.
I don't think football can surprise you really like that. Personally, I think because it's such a competitive league, I don't think it's my position to comment on the whys and the hows that the club is where it is now. It's my position to try and find the right energy, the right results to try and move us into a more positive direction. Because this is Chelsea Football Club. We know we don't want to be in 11th position, but the reality is that where we are, there's been change, there's been transition, there's been change in the squad. We have, I think there's mentioned before, a lot of talent in this squad. And it's very clear and very obvious, and you look at stories around the Premier League and its history, those things take a bit of time, you know, and everyone will try and work in the right direction. So I think some things have to be understandable, but some things you want to get there quickly because you want to work and make it show. So if I can play my part in that, then great. And in terms of targets, we want to win as many games as we can. It's the simplest answer you're going to get. It's more complicated than that. But at the same time, I think you know, there are big games ahead of us, and every game is hard. Premier League's hard, Champions League, of course, is hard. But we have to have a belief in the players we have in this squad. I've got a huge belief in them from the outside, and I'll tell them that today. And so it's how can we take that in the right direction, and then, of course, we want to win games. Modern day football has big squads, and I understand that Chelsea might be at the top end of that. I remember being here before, and I had lots of difficult decisions of really good players and good people that you have to tell you're not involved this week. And part of the job is to try and manage that situation and make every player feel included. Maybe in the beginning going into this with it being a short term, that's a positive thing for me because everyone can have a clean slate as such right now and show in training and show what they can do and be competitive in training and a competitive nature that will then cross over to the pitch. That's the good thing about a squad. You push each other, and I'll try and manage that. In terms of the goal scoring, there's no genius answer for a coach to explain to you about scoring goals to a point. You can set up the structure of a team, work to get the team in a dominant area of the pitch a lot. And again, we saw that against Liverpool, a lot of good chances. So all I'll be here is to work with repetition on the training ground, to work in terms of speaking to the players. Fortunately, it was one of the parts of my game that was a big part of my game, and that's not me comparing anything, that's just understanding the mindset that it takes to be that aggressive, cold-hearted nature to want to score goals. And I know the players will have that. It's just a case of trying to direct that in the right way.
All right, he will be able to manage the big squad. And also, I want to leave Chelsea at a very good spot. Bulu Omoni joins us now in the studio. Bulu, hi.
Yeah, good to
How was the traffic?
Well, the traffic was Lagosy, let me put it like that. But the traffic can't stop us. The job has to go on, and it's good to be here again, seeing your beautiful face and hearing Austin's voice.
Thanks for having me in the studio. All right, Austin, over to you. You have one more question for Jibola before we let him go.
Yeah, let me just ask Jibola this. This is Lampard, who is just 44, and he's got big name players. He's got Enzo, he's got Modric, he's got Yao Felix. These are big players. Egos will come in the way, and Lampard really managed these sort of big players.
Of course, I think Lampard can manage those big players because let's not forget, Lampard too was a big player. It was like top draw. So if I was in the Chelsea squad now, I'll probably be listening to Lampard and be in awe of him. You know, so to answer your question, I think he would be able to manage the squad. Obviously, some people are going to be pissed off that, you know, they're not going to play, but that's the law. That's the rule of the game, you know, so some people play, some people won't play. And Chelsea wins. I don't forget the Chelsea spirit. The Chelsea, the blue spirit always comes out trumps. So I won't be surprised if we do something remarkable. Trust me.
I don't know about that, your blue spirit. You guys are 11th on the log. I don't know what you're talking about now. And I want to thank you for joining us on the show. But you know what you Chelsea fans need to do? The club might be, a bit proud to do it. Gather your Chelsea fans, look for Thomas Tuchel, and you guys just say you are sorry for what you did to him. Appease that God, that he serves, and then maybe everything will turn around for Chelsea. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me
on the show, and all the best with your team and the remainder of the season. So that's it. Chelsea fan giving us his views. Frank Lampard is back. They are hopeful that things will turn around. But wait to see. Let's go. It's a quick break. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. When we come back, Boris in the studio. There's still so much more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on your award-winning, sports-loving Channels Television. Chelsea fans, let's keep that conversation going. What's your take about Frank Lampard? First, he said it was easy for him to come back to Stamford Bridge, but he said that he's not under pressure and he's not getting anywhere ahead of himself. Chelsea fans, underline that part. He said he will do his best, but he won't get anywhere ahead of himself. Frank Lampard is back to Stamford Bridge. What do you guys think? Talk to us on Twitter or Channels _sports. Cecilia these days loves talking about the Super Falcons, and we all know why. So Cecilia, tell us some more about the Super Falcons.
It's the World Cup, yes. So we know the Super Falcons have been playing all kinds of friendlies across the globe, and this time around they are in Turkey. And the good news about this friendlies is the fact that you're going to be having a full complement of all the players. I can't remember the last time we had all the players playing together was in 2021. That was Aisha Buhari's Cup, when you have Desire Okpara-Nozir, Asisat Shola, Onomebi, everyone were actually in that squad. At the Nations Cup, Desire Okpara-Nozir didn't make to the Nations Cup, and of course Asisat was at the Nations Cup, but after the Nations Cup she has not been with the team for the different friendlies that they've played. And of course, you remember the losing streak we had that people were counting, and then finally we broke it against Costa Rica. They started winning again. But now you have all the players back. They're playing Haiti on Friday. So just maybe this might just be a turning point for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Bolu is here in the studio. Bolu, hi.
Well, hi again. I think for the Falcons, the first thing has to be put the egos aside. Remember, one of their problems started from the captain's issue. Even before then, there was a problem with the Okpara-Nozir that they brought in their Chris Danjuma, the stopgap to take the captaincy of our give assistant, moving to assistant versus on a May issue and everything. Now, they are the senior men in the team. No, I'm not even talking about the age now. They are assistant, Okpara-Nozir, Onome, Birita. They are the senior men in the team. If they can put the ego aside, at least focus on the main goal, which is the Super Falcons. Yes, Haiti at least it's good to recover with teams like that. No matter who you are playing, if you win any game, it helps your confidence. So from there, I'm not expecting much from the World Cup, but at least, like I told some persons, play well. So sometimes when you lose to a better opposition, you'll be like, at least we tried. Not that you play poorly and you still ended up losing. So at least playing Haiti, let's recover. Let's have the vibe of, oh, this is the Super Falcons we missed. So even if whatever happens at the World Cup, we can really anticipate for the next World Cup. But losing 5-0, 7-0 at the World Cup, nah, that's all. So it's good to have everybody back. At least I'm more happy that Okpara-Nozir is back in the team. Let's hope we can have the Okpara-Nozir and the Oshoala combination again.
Yeah, I want to see that again. Austin, I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. And if you look at the composition of the Super Falcons right now, yes, we have a new coach. You're one of the advocates saying, look, we need to get this coach out. But the World Cup is coming. You can't do another stopgap measure, because every time we do that, the benefit hasn't been good for the Super Falcons. So having all these players together playing Haiti on Friday, you think we're back to our usual Super Falcons that everyone will be proud of?
It's a good one, particularly with the selection, bringing Okpara-Nozir into the mix. We stopped the distraction that it would have brought if she wasn't part of the team. So now everybody says, oh, it's good to see Okpara-Nozir back. It's good that we have the full complement of the Super Falcons. Partnership might just work well. If Randy Wardrum calms down, take a look at these players and know how to use them to the best of their abilities. Don't play Ashley Plumter out of a position. Don't play Rashida Ajibade out of a position. Don't say, oh, Akpanaze is back now. Let's see how she will do as a midfielder. Play everybody according to their strengths. We are going to the World Cup. Use these friendlies to understand the players and see how you can make those, strategic substitutions that can bring about change when the team is struggling. Because all we've seen with the Super Falcons on the Randy Wardrum is when they are struggling, he brings in more players that continues with the struggle. So he just tells you that, I keep saying what I'm saying, that he doesn't know the team. Good thing he has done, he has invited persons that everyone is pleased with, that this is the Super Falcons that we know. In fact, the younger players that are even added to the team is a good one for, national team football development. So we're just hopeful. Let's watch the friendlies against Haiti. In fact, they don't beat Haiti the way we want, we'll come for him again, because this is the sort of friendlies we want to see and see the best out of the team. We wish Randy Wardrum. Now I'm wishing Randy Wardrum well. The World Cup is here. Wish Randy Wardrum and the Super Falcons all the best as they get ready for the World Cup, Cecilia.
All right, let's just take a look at all the invited players in camp right now. You have Chiamaka Nnadozie starting, as usual, our goalkeepers. I hope he will be able to use all of them because you have 3 goalkeepers and he usually stick with Chiamaka Nnadozie. That's the striker, the goalkeeper usually stick up with. But he plays for Paris FC in France. Yewande Balogun plays for Saint-Etienne also in France. Iyene Etienne plays for Abia Angels right here in Nigeria. Others, you have defenders, Onomebi now Abia Angels, Osinachi Orale for Deportivo Alaves in Spain, Ashley Prompter, Leicester City in England, Gloria Ogbonna, of course, Besiktas in Turkey, and Rufia Timuran, also one of the defenders. You have Michel Alozie or Houston Dash in the US, Oluwatosin Dimei of Stade Reims in France. Also, midfielders, you have Hadima Tainde, Rosengard in Sweden, Christy Uchebe, Benfica in Portugal, Ngozi Okopi, Okogene, Levante in Spain, Deborah Abiodun, Rivers Angels, Tony Payne, Sevilla in Spain, Regina Otu, Saint-Etienne in France. They move over to forward, Azal Oshola, Barcelona, Rashida Ajibade, Atletico Madrid, Esther Koronko, Saint-Etienne in France, Former Onumonu in Gotham FC in the US, Uchenna Kanu, right there in Racing Louisville in Kentucky in the US. Of course, completing the forward, Zerok Banazo Wuhan in China, and of course, Gift Mode in Tenerife in Spain. Now, these are the players for the Super Falcons of Nigeria that are currently in Turkey for the 2 friendlies. They will be playing against Haiti on Friday, and of course, on Tuesday, they'll be playing against the co-host of the FIFA Women's World Cup, that is New Zealand. As us instead, we are wishing them the best in this particular one. Let's just quickly switch over to what we have here. Yeah, this is the just confirmation of the time and of course of the game against Haiti at 1 p.m. We understand there's around 3 p.m. but there's a bit of tricky thing about the time, but tomorrow we'll find out. And of course it's on Friday afternoon. The thing is that the game is on Friday afternoon. That's when the match will be taking place. Haiti, the first time they qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cup, so you cannot write them off. A team that have qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cup, obviously they are big enough. Let's just quickly take a look at NWFL, the games that were played on Wednesday midweek. Look at the result before we do analysis of the big game of that day, which was FC Robo beating Ibom Angels that got them relegated 7-1. Now, these are the results for you. Bayelsa Queens and Royal Queens. It was 1 in favor of Bayelsa Queens. Delta Queens, of course, they booked a ticket for the Super 6 by virtue of the fact that they've been unbeaten this season. They beat Ocean Babes by 3-0. Niger Rattles and Rivers Angels. Rivers Angels got all 3 points when they went to Abuja against Niger Rattles. Flip over to Group B, what is looking like. Abia Angels, a conflict with Abia Angels winning the Damawa Queens and the Edo Queens ending in a draw. And of course, FC Robo Queens and Ibom Angels, that game 7-1. Now, that's the game we're going to be looking at right now. Okay, right, you have the qualified team, of course. Delta Queens qualified for the Super 6 and the Ibom Angels relegated from the Premiership. That means you still have more games to spare. 2 games to spare for Delta Queens. They are already in Super 6. So all the team are actually chasing this. And FC Robo happens to be one of them, especially they didn't start so well this season. But now they're picking it up, and these goals they scored is more like they're trying to see how they can push themselves forward and get into that Super 6 sport again.
I think that one of the teams that enjoyed the break, since they got back, they've been in flying colors, picked up a wins as well. The first 2 games they drew 1, and I think they won the first game away from home against Asaramazo. That was the start of good things for them. The way they started the season, I was really worried for them, because I tell you, maybe because I stay in Lagos with them, I have a bit of a bias for Robo Queens, and I was worried for them at the start of the season, but they picked themselves up. Now they are in good position to qualify. I think if they win their next game, one of the remaining 2 games, they have a good chance of progressing to the next round. And I didn't see 7-0 coming. It's becoming a norm since Manchester United. Where what was the score? So FC Robo Manchester against everyone. So I love how they've grown. And the interesting thing is all the goals were spread across, but it's only one player who got 2 goals. The remaining 5 goals were scored by 5 different players. Only Shakir Oladipo scored 2. Others were 1-1-1. It means it was even difficult for Ibom Angels to pick out one man. You are blocking A, B is scoring. They are stopping B, C is pushing up. And that's what teamwork does for you. I love what they've done so far. Hopefully they can push ahead to confirm Super 6, and let's see how far they can do in the Super 6 when the competition starts.
All right, let's get reactions from the players of FC Robo and also the coach before we go to Austin in London.
This victory means a lot to me. It shows that we are almost there. We just need to put in more effort. This we'll take Lagos to the Super 6 again. Initially, they did not wake up well. Maybe because we won them in their home, they underrated them, but later they came back and started scoring. In recent time, we've lost only 1 match in 7 games. When we get there, we know how to cross the bridge. When we get there, our next opponent now, Alat, they are winning their away match right now, so we need to buckle up. First of all, to qualify for Super 6. Then from there, we'll take it off.
It means a lot to us. We winning today's game is taking us to the next level. My target, maybe winning the highest goal scorer or the youngest player of this season.
What motivates me in today's winning is that although before we start the game, our coach already told us that today's match is going to be Operation Score 5 goals. So that's alone, it's in our mind that we have to get more than 5 goals. So that's the main thing that motivated us to score at least 7 goals today. The game as a whole, I wouldn't say it's a bad game, and it's a very good officiating, though the Akwa Ibom team, they can't stand us. That's why they are trying to delay. But notwithstanding, we still give God the glory.
I'm very excited, so I'm very happy. Because since maybe last 2 matches or last 3 matches, I've not scored. So I'm very happy. The first half, the game is somehow dull, and I believe maybe our reaction is very poor at the first half. So I believe the second half we push out the attack. So the game is very exciting.
When a coach will tell you they expect 5 goals from you and you go ahead to score 7. Well, Austin, that's an interesting one coming from FC Robo Queens.
I know, a shout out whenever I hear about FC Robo Queens. My love for Coach Emmanuel Osanjo grows because he has stuck with this team. He has given these girls all the support. He has sacrificed so much. And we can see FC Robo not just producing players for the country, they are also doing well in the league. And by virtue of that win, they are now second on the log because Edo Queens played 1-1 with Adamawa Queens. So you see FC Robo showing, that they have all it takes to compete, not just qualifying for the Super 6. But shout out to Delta Queens, Cecilia. Out of 10 matches, 7 wins, 3 draws, still unbeaten. They're looking like the team that, that can race away with the title. But we know that at the Super 6 level, it's a different ball game entirely, So we'll just wait to see what will come out of that one. We've listened to FC Robo. Let's take reactions from Ibom Angels. I'm pretty sad that they've been relegated. Akwa Ibom State government needs to do more to give attention to women's football the way they are giving to Akwa United. Let's take a listen.
They can bounce back. Nothing is so impossible in football. Even in the higher level of football, what I mean by higher level of football, if you can see even in Premiership, EPFL, you saw the other day Liverpool beat Man United 7-0. But that doesn't mean that Liverpool cannot go, Man United did not go and then win another match. So it can happen. It happens in every way in the whole world. So the team, Ibom Angels, we have been winning matches. I know exactly what went wrong. Scoring first and couldn't hold on to it because of much pressure from every angle. And, what really went wrong is fatigue. Because the team, we arrived because of a force majeure. The match would have been maybe shifted to maybe tomorrow because we arrived late. And I checked into the hotel this morning by 8 o'clock. Fatigue to travel along. The bus got spoiled along the way. And before we could get to Lagos, it was late in the night. And then we checked into a hotel 8 o'clock this morning. You see, young lads, a young area of a team, before you can now rearrange them to get to their peak is very difficult. So you can see all of them where they were playing, they signal me, substitute me. My leg are heavier, so fatigue equally contributed to the loss.
It's a very porous one for us, if I must say. If I must say, from the onset, the team has been undergoing a lot, and after yesterday's arrival, it has been a very big fatigue, a very, very big one for us, due to the issue we have on our way here. Our car got damaged. We had to look for another vehicle to convert us down here. So the outcome of the game, I think, is not really our fault.
Today's match is nothing to write home about. It's so very painful and annoying. Though we tried to force ourselves and be into the game, but unfortunately we could not because of the fatigue, the stress, and in short, everything is not well organized. Because the journey and we arriving this morning and then coming out this afternoon to play match is not encouraging at all. So I believe the management should please know what to do concerning this. We know it's very painful, we going back to relegation, but at least they should try, maybe by next season, try to do more better.
Yeah, they can actually do better. That's if the management to do something better for the team, so they end up not having to start, being on the road overnight and get into the city where they are playing game on match day. That's really not cool. All right, that's what you have. Austin was talking about the league table. What Group A is looking like. Delta Queens already qualified for the Super 6 after 10 games, 7 wins, 3 draws, no loss this season, goal difference of 14, and of course 24 points. Here, Bayelsa Queens after 10 games on 19. Rivers Angels a third after 10 games, 16 points. Osun Babes, of course, another team, relegation calling because they've had 2 wins this season. Group B, Confluence Queens are top of this one after 10 games, 20 points. You have FC Robo Queens second on this one. They're all still chasing Super 6 spots, and Edo Queens on third after 10 games on 19 points. Same with FC Robo Queens, same goal difference. The difference is Edo Queens have lost 3 games this season, while Robo have lost 4. And of course, Ibom Angels and Ibom Angels relegated after 11 matches, 2 wins only, and of course they lost 9 and 0.6. That's the reason they've been relegated for the Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership. So they're going to the championship side for next season. Before we wrap this up, Austin, quickly, Austin, let's talk about the Super Eagles. Let me just get your thoughts on Super Eagles and we'll wrap this up. The FIFA ranking, 6th in Africa and of course in the world, number 40.
I guess it's a wake-up call. One of the things I remind myself of is Nigeria got the biggest ever ranking for an African team. We got to 5th at some point. But now it feels like the only way forward is down for Super Eagles. And is there a solution? Obviously there is. I say it over time. We have the best squad in Africa in terms of size and quality. But best squad does not guarantee best team. Until we do it right, we'll keep going down. Maybe when we get to like 50, 60, we'll do the right thing.
Yeah, 50, 60, we won't get there. But this is what it's looking like. The top 10 in Africa, yes, there you have it. Mali completing the top 10 right there. And Super Eagles of Nigeria, yes, number 14 in the world and 6th in Nigeria. Austin, we have to go. Time running out. Argentina, of course, number 1 and France number 2. Expectedly.
Good one for Argentina with everything that they've done with their football. Right from winning the World Cup, they've kept the consistency, unlike the Super Eagles. But Cecilia, you know what? This is the best sports show in Africa. FIFA is still compiling the list for the world. That's it in London. I'm Austin Konakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Bolu, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, lateness can't stop us. Good to be again on this lovely Thursday evening.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night rest.